Zarkov for initiating this. I'm involved in the World War II History Roundtable. We did this several years ago, and it's amazing to me how much we have in common, although people say that we have differences. But it's from the people's standpoint, we're all humans and living together. So I want to thank all of you for coming. Check the deal. Unbelievable facts. And I'd like to argue that World War II was really a 20th century war lasting from World War I, which was different from many of the Russians, the Treaty of Versailles as it moved forward. But the Allies came together as a grand alliance, developed the strength to move forward. One of the figures that is a respected number is in World War II, the 38 to 46 time frame, 72 million people died. That is a documented number that I got from some reliable sources. During that war, the Russians had 25 million deaths. Again, the Americans don't know that well, although we were separated by oceans. The Americans had 425,000 deaths. The United Kingdom had about 450,000 deaths. And Poland had almost 6 million deaths. So the area that you have your roots in really had terrible warfare. 72 years ago, next week, for the Americans on May 8th, for you on May 9th, we celebrate the Americans, it's VE Day. For the Russians, it's called the end of the Great Patriotic War. And this ribbon is one of the, it's the St. George's ribbon, and is one of the tokens of that. We're now starting to celebrate 75th anniversary dates. In the United States, back in December, we celebrated the attack on Pearl Harbor that brought us in. Back in April, we celebrated the 75th anniversary of the Doolittle raid on the Japanese mainland, and also the Bataan Corridor, where the Americans had huge numbers captured to the Japanese. And many of you may have seen on the news this last week, the Australian and Americans celebrated the victory, though not huge, but a victory we call of the Coral Sea, the Battle of Coral Sea, that stopped the advance of the Japanese in the Pacific. But we came together, we did the right things, and this is a gathering to honor those people. We have a couple of proclamations. Doug, would you come forward and read the proclamation? This is a proclamation from the governor of Minnesota. Doug Becky is the retired curator of the Camp Ripley Museum up at Camp Ripley, the Minnesota Military Museum. Doug, if you read this proclamation.
State of Minnesota, proclamation. Whereas the United States of America was founded upon the premise that all citizens should enjoy the blessings of freedom and liberty, and whereas thanks to the service of World War II veterans, we're able to carry on the vision of our nation's founders and pursue our unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And whereas more than 326,000 Minnesotans served in World War II, with nearly 47,000 World War II veterans still living in Minnesota, and whereas durable and sustainable peace is made possible in part through the efforts of our military members, both past and present, and their families, forging a better future for our nation and the world. And whereas it is appropriate to set aside a day to thank those who undertook the great responsibility of defending our liberties and protecting democracy, and whereas the freedoms we enjoy today would not be possible without the bravery, pride, courage, and sacrifice, and whereas it is only fitting and proper that we gratefully recognize and appreciate all that has been given and sacrificed by World War II veterans in order to ensure that all Americans can enjoy these principles. Now therefore I, Mark Dayton, Governor of Minnesota, do hereby proclaim May 6th, 2017 as World War II Veterans Commemorative Day. Signed by Governor Mark Dayton.
Hey, I got a question for you. How many? I was here, I'm the youngest, one of the youngest of the World War II guys. In other words, I enlisted in the Navy, and of course, I graduated in 45 from Breckenridge, and of course, right at the last year or two, you were going to probably go and be a foot soldier. So most of the guys like me went up in Breckenridge and all over. He went out to the recruiting station. I went to Fargo about 3 months before my birthday. And that's when I first found out that I was partially colorblind. I had no notion before. That would have been April of 45. But anyway, my point is, how many World War II Minnesotans, did they give a figure in that thing that the governor wrote? I think he had some figures. How many are left? Huh?
What's your question? How many are still alive?
Yeah.
47,000.
Is it Minnesotans alive?
That's according to the governor.
Huh?
That's according to the governor's proclamation.
That's Minnesotans?
Yes.
Well, that's pretty good out of, I think they said that 326,000 Minnesotans served in the Second World War.
Sir, we can talk about that later. We'd like to continue with the
Okay,
ceremony.
I'm sorry.
Vladimir. Where's Vladimir? Vladimir has obtained a proclamation from the Russian ambassador. If you could read that, please. Vladimir is the director of the Russian Art Museum. They have a wonderful exhibit commemorating the siege at Leningrad. Currently, those of you that haven't seen it, please go. Vladimir.
Dear friends, it is my privilege to send greetings to the Allied veterans of World War II and everyone participating in the memorable event hosted by the Governor of Minnesota, representatives of the U.S. National Guard, American veteran organizations, the World War II History Roundtable, World War II Russian Veterans Association of Minnesota, and Museum of Russian Art. As this year we celebrate the 72nd anniversary of the end of World War II, we should not forget that the past century witnessed a global war that brought death, sufferings, and destruction. The war affected almost 80% of the world population. 11 European countries were occupied and nations were enslaved. The Nazis put 18 million people behind barbed wire, physically exterminating more than half of their prisoners. The war was not just a tragedy for the world, but also ultimately our common victory, a victory that united people. World War II was in fact the battle for the future of the entire humanity. The great victory will always remain a heroic pinnacle in the history of our country, and we also appreciate the invaluable contribution made by all the allies in the anti-Hitler coalition. We are thankful to the anti-fascists of various countries who selflessly fought the enemy as members of the underground resistance. We remember the historical meeting of Soviet and US troops on the Elbe River and the trust and unity that became our common legacy and an example of unification of peoples for the sake of peace and stability. Veterans of the Second World War, wherever they live today, should know that we highly value their fortitude, courage, and dedication to frontline brotherhood. Their feat predestined peace and decent life for many generations. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all war veterans and wish you good health and longevity. Thank you for your courage, steadfastness, and your faithfulness to the ideas of justice. Taking advantage of the opportunity, I would like to thank all the organizers of the march and ceremony for your important job, because such memorable activities serve an educative purpose for younger generations, raising awareness of the historic truth and helping future generations to never forget it, to live in the spirit of cooperation, friendship, and mutual respect. I wish you success in the many years to come. Sergei Kislyak, Ambassador of the Russian Federation to the USA.
When I'm up there, get a couple of shots of this. I got it all set, then we can do another.
Всех участников сегодняшнего памятного мероприятия при поддержке губернатора штата Миннесота Марка Дейтона, представителей Национальной гвардии США, американских ветеранов, стола Второй мировой войны, союзников ветеранов Миннеаполиса и Музея русского искусства. Отмечая в нынешнем году 72-ю годовщину окончания войны, нам следует не забывать, что прошедший век засвидетельствовал мировую войну, принесшую смерть, страдания и разрушения. Более 80% мирового населения было затронуто войной. Под оккупацию и в рабство попало 11 европейских стран. За колючей проволокой нацистов оказалось 18 миллионов человек, из которых более половины была истреблена. Однако война оказалась не только мировой трагедией, но нашей общей победой. Победой, объединившей народы. Вторая мировая война на самом деле являлась борьбой за будущее всего человечества. Великая победа навсегда останется героической вершиной в истории нашей страны, и мы благодарны за бесценный вклад, внесенный союзниками антигитлерской коалиции. Мы благодарны борцам с фашизмом разных стран, бескорыстно воевавших с врагом в составе партизанских частей. Мы вспоминаем историческую встречу советских и американских войск на реке Эльба, взаимное доверие и единение, ставшее лучшим from fascism.
Я хочу пожелать новому поколению, чтобы они встречались не на полях сражений, а за дружеским столом.
I would like to wish to the younger generations that they will not meet on battlefields, but at friendly dinners and lunches.
И на таких митингах, как здесь.
And at meetings like today's.
Vivat United States!
We have a couple of tweets here we're going to open up.
Those are hard to get out of.
Steve Marks is the organizer of the 8th Air Force organization, and we have a member of the 15th Air Force. But, sir, would you like to join us? Sir.
Me?
You too.
I'm old enough.
Thank you very much. And thank you, sir. I salute you. Simple ceremony. I hope that you'll linger for a while. You're finished at this point, but one thing I'd like to do is, I know that there are some survivors of the siege. There's one here. There was another over here. There was another lady. Where was that? Survived the siege at Leningrad. Leningrad.
come forward. I'd be happy if I did. But my one point, about 25 years ago, the highest point in Texas, actually West Texas, there was only one person there. It was a lady, and that was the highest point. It was Guadalupe. And I met her there at the top of this peak. It was something like just over 8,000 feet. But and one other time, I used to run. I ran 8 marathons. One marathon, I was going down to the bottom of the. It wasn't a marathon, but if you've been to the Grand Canyon, you know what a place that is. One of the 8th wonders of the world. On the way down, I met her halfway down. There was two Russians. One had pretty good English. The other one couldn't hardly say one word. And I think that the one that I can remember was redheaded. But I remember on that trip, halfway down, going down the, if you've ever been to the Grand Canyon, it's one of the 8 wonders of the world, and it's a place worth a visit. Happy to be with you guys, with you Russian people.
Hey everybody, let's give John Patton a big hand right now.